Right, come on in, friends. Come on in. Who do I have? Who do I have? Let me know who is on in the chat box. A lot of you, I'm not going to be able to see your names because if you didn't give StreamYard permission to see your name, it's not going to show up. Okay, so go ahead and just give me a comment. Let me know who's on. Let me know who's watching. I am going to go ahead and get my other screen set up because we are going to dive into business plans. And you guys, last week, it looks like this whole me creating the document on the fly worked really well. It was super interactive. So I want to do that same interactive format this week. Okay. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Hold on. I don't want to, I'm messing up my webcam over here. Um, yeah, I want to do that same interactive format. So let me go ahead and get this Google Doc up. Who's super excited about talking business plans today? Business plans, business plans, business plans. I know everybody is like, you know, all about the business plan. We're in business planning season. A lot of people are trying to get funding. A lot of people are trying to do a lot of things with business plans, right? I'm probably gonna like crush some worlds today. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize in advance if I get anybody upset. But I'm just gonna let you know, like, if you're writing a business plan, let me go ahead and dive into it. If you are trying to create a beautiful business plan, all right, for anyone other than yourself, stop it right now. Stop it right now. Okay. Um, I know, friends, it's not probably what you wanted to hear because I know that we have been um we have been programmed to think that like a business plan is needed. Hi, Tiffany. How's it going? I let a few more folks roll in before I dive into it. Okay. A few more folks roll in. I know we have been programmed to think that a business plan is necessary for funding, for like investments, for a lot of different things. And I'm going to tell you right now, um, it's not. It's not. I also think that traditionally we've been told that we need a business plan, right? Before, like, you can open a bank account, before you can do anything with business, before you can do all of these things, right? And I just want to let you know that that is flawed logic. Okay, it's flawed logic, and it's not by any. It's not, because anybody is a bad person and that they're giving bad information. It's just that we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And so I'm going to tell you here today. The title of this live is to how to write a Fortune 500 business plan. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, if you don't know, I've seen several Fortune 500 business plans. I have actually written some. And they don't have like these big, sexy plans that they create to make them pretty. They have very specific plans for very specific reasons. And all of those plans are to drive action. So if you are currently trying to build a business plan and you're trying to write a book, and you're trying to be like super, prosy and super like pitchy and super salesy, stop it because you're writing that plan for someone other than yourself. I'm going to give you the biggest secret that nobody's going to tell you about the business plan. The business plan ain't for nobody else but you. It ain't for nobody else but you. Take that business plan, that beautiful business plan that you're going to spend hours and hours of writing into a bank if you want to. You guys have heard this before. I was a banker for 10 years. I have had many of business plans strolled across my desk, and you know where they all went? To the trash. Banks don't care about business plans. They care about your personal credit. Right? They don't care about your business plan. They care about your personal credit. Your business plan is for you. Your business plan is for you to map out your long and short-term strategy to hit your revenue targets, and also how you're going to operate to bring that strategy to life. Okay? How you are going to operate to bring that strategy to life. And so today I'm going to talk a lot more about when I do business plans. They're actually strategy briefs. So they're not even, we don't even call them business plans in big corporate world. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys right now, take what you think of a business plan and flip it on its side. Big businesses, we do strategic briefs. We declare what our strategy is going to be. And then each one of those strategy has an operational plan that's going to go along with it. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning. I can actually see who y'all are today. Okay, some people let StreamYard get in there. Get in there. Hey, Kendra. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Latricia. Hey, Bianca. Okay. So big companies use those strategy briefs and then the operational plan, because I'm going to tell you guys something. And when people ask me, do I write business plans? What do you want me to do for what should I be doing for my business plan? A lot of you know, you've reached out to me personally, that I will tell you that I am so anti-business plan in the traditional sense. The reason being, and I want somebody to touch and agree with me, and let's just go ahead and tell the truth and shame the devil. The reason being is that sometimes people write these beautiful, beautiful business plans. They're so pretty. They're 30 pages long. They tell all about the target market and the competitive advantage and the SWOT analysis and, all of these things. And guess what happens to those business plans? They sit up and collect dust. The reason being is because the pretty business plans that people have been taught to write to get funding, they don't actually go down and break the activities and the actions that you need to do in order to implement that business plan down. So think about it. What business plan have you seen? And I want people to be honest with me. So raise your hand one of you've seen a business plan before, or if you've written a business plan. Who's seen a business plan or has written a business plan before? Okay, Danielle said true. If you've seen or written a business plan before, let me know in the comments. Okay. Hey, Ivy. So if you've seen or written a business plan before, you know this to be true, that business plans, the pretty ones, the ones that everybody tells you to write, they do not include a tactical project plan or a tactical execution plan, the key word being tactical. If that business plan does not tell you, one, what you need to be doing on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to hit your goals, and what metrics you're going to use to measure those goals, your measures of truth for your business. So not how much money you're going to make, but your measures of truth. And you'll learn about what those measures of truth are too for your business, and what you're going to do to course correct when those measures of truth aren't aligning with the goals that you set. Now I'm preaching right now because this is what big businesses do. So if y'all didn't catch all that stuff that I just threw out to you, your measures of truth. If you don't have those in the business plan, it ain't doing you anything. I know some people have written a beautiful business plan that's 30 pages long. Do you know what the plans that I've created for Target look like? It's a 10-slide deck. It's a 10-slide deck. I want somebody to pick that up when I'm throwing down. So let's put this into perspective. If a $70 billion company, right? A $70 billion company needs 10 pages, not even 10 full pages, but 10 slides. So think about it. These are not even full pages. These are PowerPoint slides. If I can break down a Fortune 500 $70 billion company business strategy in a 10 slide deck, why are you spending your time writing a 30-page business plan? Okay. Let's go ahead and put it into perspective. Because most businesses that I work with, particularly most of us, like even my 7-figure clients, like I have quite a few 7-figure clients who did not have a business plan. But even those 7-figure clients that I work with, their business is nowhere near the complexity of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So if a multi-billion-dollar corporation isn't doing the most, why are we? Right? This is the trick and the trap of what people tell us small business owners to do. A lot of times we are prematurely trying to make things too complicated. And we're trying to do all the things because somebody at SCORE or somebody at the SBA or somebody somewhere told us that you need this to get funding or you need this to really operate your business. What they didn't tell you was none of that matters if your business isn't making revenue, if you don't have profit and loss or financial statements, and if you don't actually have good personal credit. Nobody's telling you that. They're making you think that the business plan is like, yep, you got a good business plan, and by, we're going to pray over that plan, and by some miracle, the stuff that I wrote down on this paper is going to come into fruition. But I'm going to tell you this right now, guys, and then we're going to dive a little bit into more tactically what I'm talking about. You can't just manifest the stuff that you wrote on that paper. Like, God is a good God. We know he works miracles, right? But you literally know, I hope everybody knows this, you can't just write that plan on paper and then be like, God, just do it for me, Lord. I know you did it for Daniel. You can do it for me. Like, he's not just going to, like, I don't know, or like Harry Potter is not going to pop out of the closet with his wizard wand and like make the stuff happen. So I want you guys to think about something, and I can say this because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I work with, and I'm an entrepreneur myself. Generally, as entrepreneurs, we don't have an issue with coming up with good ideas and making it pretty. Who knows that to be true? As entrepreneurs, we are not short of ideas at all. I know I'm not. Who else is a good idea creator? I know I got some idea generation machines in here. Okay. Latrice, you said I better preach. Yeah, as entrepreneurs, we don't have a problem spinning up ideas. But I want somebody to touch and agree with me and to go ahead and let me know that I'm telling the truth when I say, but also as entrepreneurs, we have a major problem. We like to create ideas, but we don't know how to get those ideas off of that paper. Somebody tell me I'm telling the truth, because I know I am. I'm guilty of it. We don't know how to get those ideas off of that paper and actually make them work. So then let's take this back then. If you don't have a problem coming up with ideas, why are you writing a document pitching your ideas? That's what people do in business plans. It's just a whole bunch of ideas, all the idea, word vomit, idea salad, all the things, right? That's not what you actually need a plan for. Okay? Think about it. Why are you writing a plan for ideas when your issue is not ideas. You got plenty of ideas. You got plenty of ideas. So why are you writing a plan for ideas? Do you need to go write a plan for how to make a ham and cheese sandwich when you already know how to make that? And I'm just being real. Do you have to write down how to go put gas in your car? You already know how to do that. So then your business plan should be focused on how you're actually going to do the thing. Okay? And a lot of people, like, you probably saw my post about companies like sliding up through my DM and asking me to come solve these big problems for them and to come transform their companies and to come do strategy. Do you guys really want to know why companies hire me to do that? Do you really want to know? I'm going to tell you, and I'm not being cocky, I'm not being anything. Generally, people are good at either ideas, okay? So people are good at being visionaries, or they are good at being doers. Like, you got some people that'll execute the hell out of something. They don't have any vision, but they like doing stuff. They like actually doing the work. So if you got the people that are the visionaries and the people that are doing the work, normally you are either one of these two. There's a very small set of people that can work this way and this way. So people that are a visionary, but they know how to connect the dots and to create bodies of work that tie that strategy to execution. The reason companies hire me and that they seek after my expertise is because I'm one of the very few that can operate this way and this way. I'm a visionary, but I also know how to get stuff done, and I know how to create those tactical action plans to turn this big idea into very strategic steps that you need to take and very strategic projects. And then I know how to frame up those projects so people can actually do the work. You get what I'm saying? So when you have that expertise of being able to talk to the boardroom and go cuss people out at the, at both levels, like, that is a very unique skill set. And I'm going to tell you what I want to pour into you guys is to literally start helping you build that muscle. Because think about it. You guys are all CEOs. You are CEOs. So you shouldn't be having to be the visionary and the person that's doing the work. I need you to build that muscle that is in the middle, that muscle that a lot of people don't have. And that muscle is being able to take your strategy, the big thing that you want to do, the big ideas that you have in your head, and to transform that strategy into actual work streams. We'll talk about work streams later, but to translate that strategy into actual work streams that can be executed. Okay? That's what we have to be able to do, is to transform that strategy into work. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what you need. Somebody said I'm an expert multitasker. Kind of, sort of. It's not actually that. I would actually say I'm not good at multitasking. I'm good at connecting big to small. Okay. So, and I'll tell you, I actually can show you guys better than I can tell you. I'm pulling up something because I'm going to dig deep. Hold on, I'm going to dig deep and then probably show y'all something that I'm not supposed to, but who cares? YOLO. I think I have a Target document. Y'all bear with me. Y'all know I like to go with what I feel like doing. So this live has gone a completely different way than I thought it would go. completely different way that I thought it would go. But it's good. It's good because I just felt on my heart that I should be able to give you guys like the real. I should be able to give you the real, and I should be able to speak openly and candidly and to give you something that is going to be super meaty and super beneficial. So let me see here. I'm looking for a presentation that I had done for Target. We'll find it. We will find it. But I was going to show you guys that in this presentation, I literally was presented with a problem. And I think I can talk about it now. I'm trying to see. Y'all don't make me get, jacked up for my non-disclosure agreement with Target, but I think it's over the non-disclosure period. So I'll just go ahead and tell you. One of Target's strategic priorities was to basically redo how Target markets in stores and how they message to their clients, right? And when I was brought on to lead that project, you guys have actually probably seen a picture of me leading that project and don't even know that that's what it was. But when I was brought on to lead that project, I was pitched to it like, hey, so the past couple of years, Target reinvested a lots of money in pricing. So a lot of people don't know. You guys probably don't know that Target prices now are commensurate with Walmart on a lot of things. The whole issue that Target was having is that they've invested so much money to lower all of their prices across the board, and they're not getting credit for it, right? Because they aren't messaging it to people right. And so they came to me, we're like, yeah, we want you to lead this signing like thing. And literally it was just pitched to me with like this big vision. Like, we want people to know that our prices are better. We want people to understand that Target is good value. And so I just went through it and said, okay, so we have a value issue, which one, like this could go down a number of different ways. And then we have an operations issue, because on the flip side of that, Target is like, yeah, we spend way too much money on signing, not for it to be impactful. So I had to break the thing down. So literally, I'm going to walk you through my thought process. And this is how you should be thinking about your thought process in your business. So Target had a problem. They had a twofold problem. They had one, they're spending way too much money on signing. So it's just too much. And the other one is that they feel like if people feel like Target's prices are better, more people will shop at Target, so they'll make more money. So I want to tell you, my mind initially went to, this is dangerous, okay? And I'll tell you why. Whenever you have a top line, okay? Does everybody know what top line is? When you have a top line problem that you're trying to solve and a bottom line problem that you're trying to solve, that is very dangerous. Somebody in the comments, let me know if you know what top line and bottom line is. And some of us are doing this in our business right now and we don't know it. So I'll tell you what this is. Top line is a sales problem. Okay, so you want to bring in more money. Top line is all about bringing in the cash. Bring in as much cash as you possibly can. So some of you are trying to solve for that in your business. Bottom line is you're trying to keep as much cash as you possibly can. So these are normally cost savings projects. These are normally efficiency projects. What Target was essentially trying to do, and what a lot of business owners are trying to do, they were trying to create one big project that was doing both of those things. That is very dangerous. The reason being is because when you're trying to do two very separate goals, you don't know what levers you're pulling. Listen what I'm saying closely. You don't know what levers you're pulling are actually contributing to those goals. So, a prime example, if I say, hey, I want to get more clients, get more traffic to my website, but I also want to decrease the cost per lead for my Facebook ads. So I'm going to use some new imagery. We do our new imagery. We spend some money on doing all that. We put out our new Facebook ads. We get more leads. Cost goes down. Which one did that new image do? Did it cut your costs or did it get you more leads? You get what I'm saying? You want to be able to pinpoint what it is that you're solving for so that you can repeat it. But when you're trying to do all the things, you can't repeat anything because you don't know what your actions are actually doing. Okay, you don't know what your actions are actually doing. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you about your business plan. Now we're going to get into it. So let me go ahead and share this with Google Doc. Share this Google Doc here. Okay, let's see. Have y'all ever lost like the mouse? Like, I don't know where the mouse is on my screen right now. It's just going on about his little business. I have no idea what it's doing. Okay, Google Docs. Let's do this. Okay. Friends, y'all let me know when you can see this business plan document up here. Let me see. All right. Can y'all see this Google Doc? All right, let's get it. Business Plan 101. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to think about as you are planning out your business, as you are trying to create this tactical action plan, because I hope you guys know by now what I'm teaching you how to do is a tactical action plan. So let's throw out everything that we thought about what a business plan was when you joined this live, okay? Because I don't do those type of business plans. I don't do those types of business plans. And I will show you that you can make it pretty. Okay, so you actually can make it pretty. So I'm not going to make you have an ugly business plan. I'll show you what some of the ones I create look like in a little bit, right? But this is the framework for it. So the first thing I want you to go to is at the beginning of your business plan, I need you to understand what is the problem that you're solving for. Okay, what is the problem that you're solving for? So can you guys tell me in your business, what is the problem that you're solving for? And I want you to break it out into two. It's one or the two. We're not going to do both of them at the same time. Are you solving for a top line problem? Or a bottom line problem? Remember, we talked about what top line and bottom line were, right? So somebody let me know. Let me know in the comments, which one are you solving for? Are you solving for top line or bottom line? If your business plan is all about like how to make money and how to get more sales and how to get more leads and all of that, you're totally solving for a top line problem. Okay? Excuse me. If your problem that you're trying to solve with your business plan is about how I can save more money, right? How I can reduce my time, how I can be more efficient, how I can be more productive, then you're solving a bottom line problem. So let me know in the comments if you're a top liner or a bottom liner. But you couldn't, at this point in your plan, you can't be both. I hope that this may not need to be said, but I hope you guys are getting now that in your business, you are going to have multiple plans. You're going to have multiple plans. The reason being is that you have to constantly build plans for the things that you want to tackle. So I want you to start thinking of your business in the form of its project work. You're going to finish one project and you're going to move on to the next. You're going to fix one problem, you're going to get it to good, and you're going to move on to the next thing, as opposed to thinking about this big, broad thing that you're going to do when it's 5 years down the road. That doesn't get you to action. And my whole thing, if you guys have not learned anything about me, is to get you to action. I was on the phone with one of my clients this morning and she's like, "You are kicking my butt." But I love the approach that you were like, "We are going to finish this thing and we're going to finish the hell out of it. And it's going to be amazing. And then we're going to move on to the next thing. And then we'll create another plan for that." Okay. So you're a top liner, bottom liner. Okay. I got some top liners. I got some bottom liners. Great. So what is the problem you're solving for? Then we're going to do the click down. And if you're a top liner, the click down version of that, if you're trying to make more money, there's one of three issues that you have. You have a traffic problem, you have a conversion problem, or you have a retention problem. Come on, somebody. Let me know which is your issue. And there are metrics that you can have that'll tell you which one of those issues that you're facing. But you even have a traffic, a conversion, or a retention problem. Yeah. No, I don't know if it says Facebook user on here, but I'm so glad that you're saying this. I'm going to show this project totally different from what I was taught. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you think about it, guys, who is teaching you? Like, let's just be real. Who is teaching you how to do this stuff? Right? Who is teaching you how to do this stuff? You know, I would probably wager that when people are teaching you how to do this stuff, they are coming from a place of like having experience only in one arena, which is that small business arena. But I know, and you guys know, that my whole platform is like, why am I teaching people how to be a small business owner when I'm trying to teach you how to be a big business owner? Right? You can't move into that next level unless you build the muscle and start thinking at that next level. So my whole thing is we're blowing past this whole small business thing. I hope you guys realize that we're blowing past small business. I'm teaching you to think like a big business. Okay. Okay. So we're doing the click down. You have a traffic problem, a conversion problem, or a retention problem. If you have if you're a bottom liner, you have a margin problem. Ooh, I'm speaking to somebody right there with that margin. Some of y'all prices too low. Who just got hit right there? Some of y'all prices too low. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, you have a margin problem. That's why you can't keep any money in your pocket, because you're selling your stuff for too low. Okay. So I digress. I digress. You have a margin problem. The other problem you have is an efficiency problem. And lastly, a productivity problem. Somebody got hit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I I just give a little bit of tough love. So like what problems are you solving? And this is where you can get like really clear on now somebody asked about market research. Who asked me about market research? Because I wanted to talk about this. Who has heard of the term not bitch, benchmarking? Benchmarking. Y'all got me over here cussing. I'm not even trying to cuss. Benchmarking. Okay. So benchmarking is super powerful because what you're going to do is validate that you actually have those problems through benchmarking. Child, I don't know what that is that I spelled over here. Validate your problems through benchmarking. Okay. And what benchmarking basically is using industry standard data about how people are performing and other companies are performing in these areas in order to see kind of where you stand in the grand scheme of things. So somebody said, asked about market research. And here's what I'm going to tell you about market research. A lot of times we're trying to do macro research, right? Who's like tell the truth and shame the devil? Go ahead and raise your hand if you've done try to do macro research. And macro is, oh, I need to understand my target market and the industry that I'm playing in and all of the players and what my market share is going to be and what this is and what this is. You're doing entirely too much. I've been there. We're worrying about things that aren't our worries yet. And here's what I want to tell you about that type of market research, that macro research. You're trying to make a problem that's not a problem yet, or that's something you shouldn't be worrying about yet. Because here's the deal. First of all, friend, I got to look at the camera when I say this. First of all, friend, there's only one you. There's only one you. So while you're saying that, well, I want to make sure that I'm not getting into a saturated industry, or I want to make sure that such and such is not doing this and such. There's still only one you. So even in that saturated industry, you have a unique value that you can bring to that industry, and you're not going to be able to get that unique value from doing macro research. I also think it's premature, right? For us to think that we need to do this big macro research. Yeah, you need to understand who your competitors are, but you can do that on Google. I hope you know that. You can do that on Google. I can tell you who, I have competitors in different spheres because I have competitors on the business credit side. Baby, they can't touch me with a 10-foot pole, but I have them on the business credit side and I have them on the strategy side. But I know that I'm very uniquely positioned because y'all can tell me I'm lying if I am, but there's no one that's doing both. There's no one that's doing both. Okay? So I really want you to understand, and I didn't have to do any industry research to know that. I didn't have to do any industry research to know that. There are places, though, that you can get industry research from. So Reuters, I can't say this right. Euromonitor, okay? Hoover's, okay? Actually, a lot of different, you can literally go to your local library, and a lot of local libraries have business journals and business statistics too. If it tickles your fancy and you want to understand like your entire industry and the market, then you can understand that by doing that. I may do a deep dive into it. I don't think we're at the place right now in this group that is needed, but I can do a deep dive into it if you guys want me to do so. But I just think that is a huge company problem that you're trying to solve where your business is not there yet. So I will tell you when that type of industry data is relevant. When you have a super capital intensive business, okay? When you have a super capital intensive business and you're saying, look, it's going to cost me about $250,000 to $300,000 to even get this business off the ground, that's when you need to understand that industry more, because then you have a lot of skin in the game, and then you need to understand whether the market share is appropriate and whether your market is going to be able to absorb like that cost that you're putting in. Okay. When you are trying to launch like a mass production product, right, you do probably need to understand, like, is there space in the market for it? But once again, that's when you are putting a lot of money behind it. When you launching a coaching program, you launching a course, you are like direct distributing some product that you're an artisan, you've created your own product that you're distributing, child, bye. Believe me, the market is way big enough for your opportunity. Way big enough. Okay? So you don't even have to spend your time unnecessarily doing that. Okay? Okay. So I got off on a tangent, but I'm going to get back to benchmarking. Validating your problems through benchmarking using So benchmarking is using data. Using data to validate whether your problem is actually what you're having. Okay, so let's talk about this. And guys, I'm speaking from experience. So a lot of you may know that I have the pleasure of having Tara Zerker as my personal Facebook ads coach. So I'm good with Facebook ads. Like, I'm really good. But I'm like, as I became someone that's spending more and more money on ads and getting more and more results, when I was like, I'm optimizing now, I want to work with someone that spends millions of dollars on ads, to my thousands. And so Tara has done that. And, it's so amazing working with her. One of the things that she gave me was validation. So I had an ad that I was running to my tiny offer. And guys, it was costing me like $10 per purchase. And I was like, oh my God, it's costing $10 per purchase. This is terrible. Like, literally just going into a whole rant. And Tara was like, Kendra, that's freaking amazing. She's like, normally it costs like $30 to get somebody to purchase something from you. I was like, oh. She's like, you don't have a problem. Just throw some more money behind the ads and you'll get more results. Your ad is beautiful. It's working. I was like, okay. Like, so sometimes we internally think that we have a problem that we actually don't have. That's why it's good to use benchmarking data to say, like, oh, I'm actually doing a lot better than I thought I was, because sometimes that can send us down a rabbit hole that we don't even need to go down. So imagine friends, let's put it back to my thing. Imagine if I'm like, oh my God, I have an ad cost problem. I got to go and dig into my ads. I got to redo my copy. I got to redo my imaging. I got to find a new audience. Imagine how much time I would have wasted spinning up work spinning up a project that doesn't even need to happen. Right? It doesn't even need to happen. So just using your industry data to validate. And you know what the best place you can look for this industry data is? Google. Literally. Y'all don't believe me. I know y'all don't believe me. Y'all think I be lying. So when I first started email marketing, I was like, why aren't people opening my emails? This makes me sad. Bam. I literally just Googled what the average email open rate. My average email open rate is 24%. So I'm over the average, right? So here's what I'm saying. Data is not hard to find. You just have to know what you're asking for. You just have to know what you're asking for. I'm looking for average sales conversion rate. Bam. The average conversion rate for an online company is 2.86%. So some of us think that we have a conversion problem, but actually, if you're converting higher than that, then you're actually doing pretty damn good. Like, so I want you to understand that when you know the questions to ask, that is how you find what you're looking for. Okay. I'm gonna show y'all one more thing. I'm teaching y'all something today. You know where you can find a lot of good information? Look at that Amazon business credit account. I digress. You know how you can find a lot of different information is about other businesses by Amazon. Like you can literally search Amazon for like keywords and key influencers. So like if I were to I'm gonna look books about business credit. Right? You'll start to see like what's popping up. So we got some credit repair books, we got some stuff like, that. But I can see like people that are doing the things that I'm doing, like people that are in my space and going through like with some of these things. You can do a lot of research. And then here's what I'm going to tell you do. Has anybody ever heard? Hey, Keisha. Hey, Keisha, you've been using that Amazon business credit like it's going out of style. That's it. People, one thing you learn about me, I don't tell anybody to use anything I don't use myself. Believe me, I got plenty of business credit because I teach people about business credit. I'll be a liar if I said otherwise. So SimilarWeb. This is a place you can go to ethically stalk and spy on any competitors that pop up once you do that Google search or that Amazon search. So let's go pop up on Mr. Ty Crandall. Can I do Credit Suite? Hold on. I don't know how to spell it. Is it Credit Suite? Well, hell, let me just do this one. I'll just do my own. Can I do that? I'm not. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Oh, hell, I'm on two different screens. So you go back. Somebody give me a website. Who do y'all want to spy on? None of my websites that I want to spy on are coming up. Probably not. I'm going to sign in. Okay, let's just do Marie Forleo. Bam. Do y'all see this? I literally want for y'all to see where you get your data from. I know how much traffic she has. I know what the bounce rate is. I know where the traffic is coming from. I know what sources. It looks like most of her traffic comes from email marketing, from direct email marketing. I know how many people are referring traffic to her. I know what keywords people are using to search her, and I know that she's not doing any paid keywords. Okay. I know what amount of her traffic is on social. So I understand like Facebook is her sweet spot, and then YouTube comes up next. Okay, so she's not really an Instagram girl. She's Facebook and YouTube all the way. This is something that y'all should think about too. I understand what her audiences are interested in, right? So these are the things her audiences are looking for. So let's just say if I was looking for the same type of people, which actually Marie Forleo and I do have a very similar client base. If I was looking for the same type of people, don't you think that I would be using this information in order to build my audiences? And guess what else is going to give you? Her competitors and her similar sites. So this is what would help me, like in my Facebook advertising, understanding who else follow or who else her people are following, right? This is the research piece. So I want you to go and check it out. I can also see what type of imagery she's using. I can see how she's advertising. They don't use display advertising, but a lot of times you'll be able to see what types of ads they're running. I'm going to show you where else you can see what types of ads. I'm about to blow y'all mind. Hold on. If you ever want to know, some of y'all may already know this. This is business planning at its finest, my friends. So if you've never thought about this stuff before, when you're writing out a business plan, I want to let you know that this is the stuff that matters. This is the stuff that matters. Let's see. Child, my little Facebook just stay popping. What's the girl's name again? Marie Forleo. So we're going to pop on over here. Let's go to Marie's page. Okay. So one thing I would do is understand, like, if our clients are similar, I'm going to be looking at her post. I'm going to be looking at her imagery. I'm going to be looking at what is getting the most engagement on her page, because if our clients are similar, I can take a wager that they respond to very similar things. All right. So that's the first thing I will be looking for in taking note of this. For my people that are having a conversion problem or a traffic problem, these are some of the things you need to do in your research, like to understand where your issues are coming from. But old friends, let's go down to page transparency. And you see right down here where it says this page is currently running ads. I'm going to be a stalker and see what types of ads they are running. I bet y'all didn't know you could do that. Who knew how to do this? I can literally see the ads that Marie has been running. And I can see like the engagement that she's getting on the ads. So if I'm looking at a place to start with the type of copy and the type of call to actions that may work for our people, or for if we have the same people, this is a place I could start. Okay. So I went off on a whole tangent there, but for my folks that were talking about research, I literally want you to know Like, these are some of the things. When I tell you guys, I have so much in my back pocket. Keisha, if you're still on, will you tell them, like, the amount of ethical stalking that I do is crazy. So when I work with clients, we go like 10 levels deeper than this. I am an absolute creepy ethical stalker. But I just feel like you have to go in fully equipped before you just start doing stuff and spinning up work. Okay. So using data to validate. The next piece of this business plan, because I'm going to get back to the business plan. So you're going to validate, and then you're going to declare. You're going to write down your biggest pain points. So now, after you validate it, do I actually have a problem or not? Right? You're going to write down your biggest pain points. So you validated your problem, and we're going to declare your big opportunities. Write down your biggest pain points. And then we're going to prioritize. So you prioritize your pain points based on impact plus effort. How many people have seen an impact effort matrix before? Who's seen an impact effort matrix? Okay. Basically, this is a filter that I use. So now I know, since I'm not getting any play on you guys saying you've seen an impact effort matrix, I have to do now a whole deep dive into an impact effort matrix. But you have to have an impact effort matrix to say, like, I am going to prioritize my work based on the intersection between impact and effort. Okay. And I'm going to go with the lowest hanging fruit first. So that means the things in my business that are going to make the biggest impact and cost me the less effort, I'm going to start there. And then I'm going to work my way around the rest of the quadrant. So let me put that in my notes. Somebody put that in the comments to remind me, Kendra, do a lesson on impact effort assessment. But you're going to prioritize your pain points using impact effort. Then you're going to put some numbers to it. Thank you, Bianca. Put some numbers to it. So, guys, this does not have to be rocket science when you put some numbers to it. But I want you guys to get comfortable with making some educated guesses. And what that is I believe if I do X, then Y will happen. We do this all the time in big corporate strategy. If you think about it, like that signing project I was telling you about, Target had to make an assumption that said, I believe that if we sign our prices better, if we market better in store, that will drive more sales. That is an assumption. And in business, I think a lot of times we try to have all of the answers and we try to make this entirely too complicated. But the way that you do a business plan is by saying, I believe that if I do X, then Y will happen. I believe that if I create a new program, that I can get at least 10 enrollments. And that can be based on previous data that you have. That can be based on just like, honestly, it can be based on gut instinct initially, because you don't have to be right, because these are assumptions. But then as you go throughout doing the work, your whole goal should be to validate or invalidate those assumptions. So I want you to think about this. All you're doing when you're doing your thing and you're doing your project, either you're going to validate or you're going to invalidate your assumptions. So either you assumed wrong or you assumed very right. But I just want to give this to you guys. Big companies are winging it and guessing all of the time. Give yourself permission to guess. Give yourself permission to make an educated guess. It's okay. It's okay. The next piece of that is, now that you put some numbers to it, and this is going to be the last piece I tell you about. Declare. I am huge on this. And as business owners, honestly, guys, we got to do a lot better about this. We have to do a lot better about this, because I see it all the time. Who here has metrics that they check on a daily basis, or a weekly basis, or a monthly basis? I guarantee you we're probably not doing it as well as we should, or as often as we should. So I really want you to get in the habit of declaring your metrics. And there are 3 sets of metrics you should have. Okay, let me break this down. There are 2 types of metrics and 3 sets. Now I'm gonna have to do one on metrics, guys. Now, where somebody remind me to do a lesson on metrics. Okay, so the 2 types are leading and lagging. Okay, and what leading metrics are, a lot of people forget about leading metrics, but leading metrics are the behaviors that you need to track before you get to the bottom line. So I think I did this before on another live, not inside of this group, but in another group. But if you think about it, if you have a lagging metric of every month, I need to make $10,000 in sales. Guys, if you haven't been doing the things that you need to do that all month, and by the time you get to the end of the month and you haven't made your $10,000 in sales, it's too freaking late, right? So you need to have a set of metrics to track, to say, am I doing all of the things that I need to do in order to get to this goal at the end? So the way that I broke it down was, if you know that every month to reach your $10,000 in sales, you need to do 100 sales calls a month. This is just making it great numbers. Then wouldn't a leading metric be that every week I need to have at least 25 calls? Because then if at week 1 you haven't had your 25 calls, then guess what you can do? You can course correct. You can say, well, I need to go harder now getting these calls set up for the next week, as opposed to waiting till the end of the month and be like, well, I didn't hit my $10,000. Well, hell, you didn't have your 100 calls either, but you weren't worried about them 100 calls. Now, were you? I'm just keeping it real. Like, so you have to have things that hold yourself accountable to your plan before it actually gets to the end game. And so if you think about your lagging metrics, that's the end game. That's the end game. But what are the things that you need to track and to do before you get to the end game? Okay. So those are the 2 types of metrics. Now there's 3 sets of metrics that you need to have up under each of those. And the 3 sets are operational, financial, and customer. Yes, indeed. Big companies are bad at doing this too, but definitely small companies are bad at doing it. A lot of times we only want, hey, whoever just jumped in late, let me know who you are. It's okay if you just jumped in late. You can see the replay. A lot of companies are bad. We like to forget about our customers from a metric standpoint. And a lot of times we only want to look at the financial metrics. But I need for you to think about operational metrics. So these are metrics on, am I doing things on time? Am I being productive? Am I setting up those meetings that I need to set up? Am I delivering my client projects on time? Thanks, Bianca, for reminding me to do a leading and lagging metrics exercise. The financial metrics, right, are your sales metrics, your profit metrics. These are the things that have to deal with the money. And then your customer metrics are your retention rates, your customer satisfaction scores, right? You may do postmortems with your clients. So these are the things that you need to be looking at to look at your business holistically. So these are the things that you need in your plan. Oh, and the last thing, I told you that metrics will be the last thing, but there's not. You need a timeline. When the heck are you going to do all of this stuff? So this is your business plan, friends. Like, when the heck are you going to do all this stuff? So what I literally would do is literally say January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and November, December. Literally would go through and say, like, what am I going to do every month to make sure that I'm solving the problem that I declared up here? Okay. Break this up into projects. Your business plan. I said all this and I've been talking you guys heads off for the past hour. Your business plan should be your project plan on how to do one thing. Get stuff. I was about to let another word slip out. Get stuff done. So if you're writing your business plan for somebody else, rip that thing to shreds, stop it right now. Your business plan needs to be for you, because I want your plan to be something that you can use tactically and that you can take action on, not something that's going to sit somewhere and collect dust. I want you to take action on your business. Remember, our sweet spot as entrepreneurs is not, we're not lacking ideas. We don't lack ideas as entrepreneurs, but a lot of us, right? We got a problem with taking action. Hey, Keisha said, y'all, she signed a private client agreement with me and y'all getting all this info for free. Keisha, they're not getting it all. They're not getting it all. But this is some good information, if I do say so myself. Plan for you. Make your business plan for you. And for people who do want help and you do want to think about like having someone to work with you on your strategy brief, I'll be putting in this group a little bit more information about something that I do called a 2-hour intensive. So I know I have some people in here that have done a 2-hour intensive with me. And what we do literally is, all I need is 2 hours. Like, I touch your business. I take over your business for 2 hours and we come out on the other side with your action plan and your implementation plan. And Keisha can tell you, Keisha, you better let them know I'm tough with the implementation plan. But that's because I want you to take action. Remember, we're not writing a business plan for somebody else. And I would be remiss to say, right? I would be remiss not to say, because I know there was some questions about business plans for venture capital. Business plans for venture capital, business plans for loans and things like that. Guys, you can't get VC funding. I hope everybody knows this. And I've done multiple rounds of VC funding for a lot of different people. you can't get venture capital funding unless you have proven that you can make money, right? So like think about your internal plan. Some of us are trying to do big plans prematurely. You before you ask for any investor, before you are trying to get like external money, you have to prove that you can make money. So your business plan needs to be focused on the fact that you can make money and that you can keep money, and then you can focus on making it pretty to pitch it to somebody else. But we're good at entrepreneurs is making stuff pretty and making stuff pretty. When you have all these financial projections and stuff like that, one of the biggest things that investors are going to ask for is show us what you've done already. Show us what you've done already. And you can't show anyone what you've done already if you haven't actually done it. Think about it. If I were to say, guys, I have this great idea, could you give me a couple $1 million? Well, Kendra, how much money have you made before you came to us? None, actually. Would y'all give me some money? Like, let's be clear. Would y'all give me some money? No. The answer is no. So think about this being the ugly plan before you even get to the point where you can start creating the pretty plans for VC funding, because you have to prove that you can make money before investors want to invest. Okay. All right, guys. I went way over. But hopefully this was good for you. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. I'll put more information about the 2-hour intensives in the group later on today. Do me a favor. Like you guys know you can comment in the group and like ask questions. If you have follow-up questions, or if you just want to say something nice about the live, if you enjoyed it today, let me know. Let me know. And let me know what other things you guys want to hear more about. Okay? All right, guys. Happy Thrive Thursday with the Boss Architect. I will see you guys later.